Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Sanjay Mattu with the news at 9. The headlines. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh urges Naval Commanders to strengthen coastal security framework to counter emerging threats and challenges effectively. 3 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir. First, India-Bangladesh stakeholders meet emphasizes on better trade and connectivity. Japanese Emperor Naruhito formally proclaims his ascension to the throne in an elaborate ceremony at Tokyo. Former India captain Saurabh Ganguly to take over as BCCI President tomorrow. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says the Navy has a crucial role to play in the form of safeguarding the sea lines of communication, or SLOC, the economic lifeline to make the Indian economy reach the $5 trillion mark by 2025. He was speaking at the Naval Commanders conference in New Delhi today. Mr. Singh urged the Naval Commanders to continue reviewing procedures and strengthen the coastal security framework so as to counter emerging threats and challenges effectively. He said the Indian Navy will continue to perform the duty of safeguarding the maritime interests of the nation.
मैं पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त हूं कि हमारा ये सी रूट जो समुद्री क्षेत्र है वह इंडियन नेवी के हाथों में पूरी तरह से सुरक्षित है और हमारी इंडियन नेवी का भी यह संकल्प है कि किसी भी सूरत में 26/11 इसकी पुनरावृत्ति न होने पाए या किसी भी सूरत में न दोहराया जा सके। एक ऐसी चाक चौबंद व्यवस्था की है।
Speaking to the media later, Mr. Singh said India has never been the aggressor, but its armed forces are capable of giving a befitting reply to those who cast an evil eye on it.
भारत की हमारी जो सेना है, जो आर्म्ड फोर्सेस हैं, उनके अंदर वह कुवत है, वह ताकत है, जो भारत को बुरी नजरों से देखने की कोशिश करेगा, उसका वह मुंहतोड़ जवाब दे सकता है।
2 BrahMos surface-to-surface missiles were fired by the Indian Air Force at Truk Island in the Andaman-Nicobar group of islands. The twin firings have been carried out as a part of routine operational training. In a tweet, Indian Air Force said the missile engaged the designated mock targets near 300 kilometers away. A direct hit on the target was achieved in both cases. The firing of the missile has enhanced Air Force capability to engage the ground targets with pinpoint accuracy from a mobile platform. In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces in Rajpura-Avantipura area of Pulwama district this evening. Security officials said 3 terrorists' bodies were retrieved and their identity is being ascertained. Security sources said a joint team of security forces launched the operation on the basis of specific information about the presence of terrorists in Avantipura. They said as the forces zeroed in on the suspected place, the hiding terrorists fired indiscriminately, triggering a gunfight. Meanwhile, in another incident of ceasefire violation, Pakistan troops resorted to indiscriminate and unprovoked firing on Indian forward posts and civilian areas in the border district of Poonch today. A defence spokesman told AIR News that at about 11:30 hours, Pakistani troops started targeting forward posts and civilian areas in Balakot sector of Mendhar in Poonch district by firing small arms and shelling with mortars. However, alert Indian troops retaliated and returned the fire effectively. The exchange of fire continued up to 1400 hours. 1 lady civilian got injured in the firing and she has been admitted to the sub-district hospital, Mendhar. The central government has approved the proposal of payment of 7th Central Pay Commission allowances to government employees of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Our correspondent reports the 2 new union territories will come into existence from the 31st of this month after Parliament passed the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Bill 2019. The move will benefit 4.5 lakh government employees who are working in the existing state of Jammu and Kashmir and will become the employees of the Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh from the 31st of this month. In Jammu and Kashmir, campaigning for Block Development Council or BDC polls ended today. 1,065 candidates are in the fray for election of chairpersons for BDCs to be held on the 24th of this month. A total of 1,092 nominations were found eligible after scrutiny and withdrawal, out of which 27 candidates were elected unopposed as chairpersons. There are 26,629 voters, of them 8,313 are women and 18,316 men. More from our correspondent.
The counting of votes will be taken up on October 24 itself and results are expected late evening of 24th October. The Block Development Council election will be the last electoral exercise in the state before it is formally bifurcated into two union territories on the midnight of 31st October. Necessary arrangements have been put in place for the smooth conduct of elections. Police and security forces are being deployed around the polling stations to ensure peaceful polling. The ballot boxes would be used during the elections of the Block Development Council as the election shall be held through secret ballot. R.K. Rana, AIR News, Jammu.
Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik today alleged that the leaders of the Hurriyat and mainstream parties, religious preachers and clerics have used their influence to get the children of ordinary Kashmiris killed while none of them lost their own lives due to terrorism. Alleging that affluent and powerful sections have crushed the dreams of the youth in Kashmir and destroyed their lives, he appealed to the people to understand the truth and join the centre's efforts to usher in peace and progress in the state. He was addressing the 7th convocation of the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University in Katra.
इसमें किसी का बच्चा नहीं मरा है, किसी का बच्चा टेररिज्म में नहीं गया, सबके बच्चे बाहर पढ़ रहे हैं, सबके बच्चे वेल सेटल्ड हैं। आम आदमी के बच्चों को अल्लाह का और जन्नत का रास्ता दिखाइए और उनको मरवा दीजिए, यही यहाँ होता रहा। मैं कश्मीर की जनता और यहाँ के नौजवानों से कहना चाहता हूँ कि सच को समझने की कोशिश करो। दुनिया का सबसे खूबसूरत खित्ता आपके पास है, दिल्ली कहीं नहीं ले जाएगी, दिल्ली ने तो आपके लिए थैली खोल रखी है। आगे बढ़ो, तरक्की करो, उसमें हिस्सेदारी करो।
Nobel laureate Abhijit Banerjee today lauded the government's Ayushman Bharat scheme, saying it is much needed to ensure that entire families are not crippled when one among them falls ill. Speaking at a press conference in New Delhi after meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Professor Banerjee said the Ayushman Bharat scheme serves a very important gap in the economic structure. Talking about his meeting with Mr. Modi, Professor Banerjee said the Prime Minister explained how he is trying to reform the bureaucracy to make it more responsive.
He also, I think, very nicely explained how he's trying to reform the bureaucracy to make it more responsive, to understand ways in which people's views need to be taken into account, expose them more to the reality on the ground. And that I thought was, I think it's a very important point for India to create a bureaucracy that actually lives on the ground and gets its stimulus from how life is on the ground.
In a tweet, the Prime Minister said the Nobel laureate's passion towards human empowerment is clearly visible. He said India is proud of his accomplishments. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com.
Maharashtra Haryana Janadesh 2019. Who will be the winner?
AIR correspondents will bring the latest election result updates.
Kunal Shinde from Mumbai, the financial capital of country.
Ramesh Jaibai from Aurangabad.
For AIR News, Nitin Kelkar from Pune.
Gauri Marathe from Nagpur.
Ashwini Kumar Sharma from Chandigarh.
For AIR News, Jitendra Dwivedi from Karnal.
Pratik Shrivastava from Rohtak.
Also, in-depth and precise analysis of election results by eminent experts.
24th October Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 9:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Only on AIR FM Gold and other channels.
Welcome back. You're listening to the news at 9. Bangladesh Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi has said that Bangladesh and Northeast India could benefit from improved physical connectivity and people-to-people contact. Participating in the India-Bangladesh stakeholders meeting in Guwahati today, Mr. Munshi said better connectivity would enhance consumers' welfare through access to goods at competitive prices and enhance opportunities for exporters. The minister requested India to withdraw the ban on export of onions. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The first India-Bangladesh stakeholders meet has emphasized on better trade and connectivity between the two countries. High-level delegation from both the countries had deliberation on multiple issues in Guwahati, including road agreements, cross-border surface route trade, port use agreements. Attending the inaugural ceremony, Assam Chief Minister Sarvanand Sonowal said, India and Bangladesh are blessed to have the political leadership who are very keen to forge a more meaningful and mutually beneficial relationship. He said the Centre's Act East policy gives a paradigm shift to the development narrative of Northeast region. Manas Pradeep Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated his Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau for his election victory. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, India and Canada are connected by shared values and a strong commitment to democracy as well as plurality. Mr. Modi said he looks forward to working together to further strengthen bilateral relations. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party held on to power in a nail-biter of a Canadian general election yesterday, but as a weakened minority government. In Japan, Emperor Naruhito has formally proclaimed his ascension to the throne in an elaborate ceremony at Tokyo. The 59-year-old emperor officially began his reign in May after the abdication of his father, the then Emperor Akihito. After a series of traditional rituals inside the imperial palace in Tokyo, his ascension has now been formalized. President Rajnath Singh also attended the enthronement ceremony. The Rashtrapati Bhavan in a statement said that on the sidelines of the ceremony, Mr. Kovind met President Bidya Devi Bhandari of Nepal. The two leaders discussed several issues of mutual interest and bilateral cooperation between India and Nepal. Later in the evening, the President addressed members of the Indian diaspora in Tokyo. He said India's cultural relations with Japan are deep and historic.
Maharashtra and Haryana Assembly polls 2019. As the people's verdict starts rolling out, tune into DD India for live reports from every counting centre, clear leads and accurate results. For the most credible coverage, watch Janadesh 24th October, 7 a.m. onwards, only on DD India.
One of India's most decorated captains, Saurabh Ganguly, will be taking over as the 39th President of the BCCI in Mumbai tomorrow at its annual general meeting or AGM. This will end the 33-month reign of the Supreme Court-appointed Committee of Administrators or COA. Ganguly is the unanimous nomination for the post of BCCI President, along with Union Home Minister Amit Shah's son Jay as the Secretary. Mahim Verma of Uttarakhand is the new Vice President. Former BCCI President and current Minister of State of Finance Anurag Thakur's younger brother Arun Dhumal is the Treasurer. Kerala's Jayesh George is the Joint Secretary. Ganguly will have a curtailed tenure of around 9 months as he would need to demit office by the end of July next year. This will be in consonance with the provisions of the new constitution, which makes a cooling-off period mandatory after 6 years in office. In badminton, India's Subhankar Dey and PV Sindhu advanced to the second round of the BWF French Open Super 750 tournament in Paris today. Subhankar beat Indonesia's Tommy Sugiarto in the men's singles first round. PV Sindhu defeated Canada's Michelle Lee in the women's singles first round. Domestic stocks today took a pause after a 6-session winning run. The Sensex closed below the 39,000 mark and Nifty settled under the 11,600 level. However, the rupee appreciated 21 paise against the dollar. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh urges Naval Commanders to strengthen coastal security framework to counter emerging threats and challenges effectively. 3 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir. First, India-Bangladesh stakeholders meet emphasizes on better trade and connectivity. Japanese Emperor Naruhito formally proclaims his ascension to the throne in an elaborate ceremony at Tokyo. Former India captain Saurabh Ganguly to take over as BCCI President tomorrow. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website, newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And that's all in the news at 9. Good night.